Have you ever faced a decision so huge or a dilemma so stressful that it literally keeps you up all night? You've asked your smartest friends for advice. You probably even asked AI, but you're still not confident that the choice you make is the right one. Well, after helping countless people find clarity with 八字 and feng shui, I always tell my clients this: they are fantastic for your long-term, big-picture destiny. But when you're stuck in a high-stakes, short-term dilemma, you need a completely different tool, a tool so powerful that ancient Chinese emperors relied on it before going to war. And modern-day big shots still use it today when everything is on the line. That method is the I Ching divination. So in this video, I'll be sharing the simplest way possible to consult the I Ching today and the exact guidelines to follow so as to get a scarily accurate answer. But first, what exactly is the I Ching and why is it so amazing? In Chinese metaphysics, we have different tools for different problems. Think of 八字 as the big picture roadmap for your life's destiny. It gives you a bird's eye view of your life, showing you where the mountains and valleys are over the next few decades. And feng shui is how you optimize your environment to support your destiny. But what happens when you're stuck at a massive crossroad right now? When you need to know with absolute clarity if this one specific decision that you're going to make is the right choice. For a highly specific, at this juncture sort of dilemma or major decision, if 八字 is your roadmap, you need a GPS that tells you exactly whether to turn left or right at this exact intersection. And that ultimate tool is the I Ching, also known as the Book of Changes, the undisputed king of all ancient Chinese classics. Now, while many people know it as a powerful fortune-telling book, it is actually the very first Chinese philosophy classic. Even today, it is studied in universities. But because it holds so much deep hidden truths about how this universe works and how a person should navigate the ups and downs of life, ancient sages realized that it can be used to guide decisions and predict the future. Without this 3,000-year-old text, there will be no feng shui, no 八字, and no Chinese metaphysics. Even great philosophies like Confucianism and Taoism, they were all born from its teachings. To put it simply, the I Ching is the great-great-grandfather of all Chinese wisdom. Ancient sages observed that everything in this world follows a pattern. Every rise, every fall, and every change in life leaves a sign. They pack all these universal patterns into this one classic, decoding the 64 possible situations a human being can face in life. For thousands of years, grandmasters use it to predict the future with terrifying accuracy. As the great Confucius described it, understanding the I Ching is like having a wise, divine mentor by your side 24/7. So before you even think of asking your question to consult the I Ching, there are some guidelines you must follow, or the I Ching won't give you a clear answer. Why? Imagine walking into the office of a billionaire CEO or a highly respected guru to ask for their life advice. If you walk in with a smirk on your face or ask them a question just to see if they are really that smart, they're going to show you the door. The I Ching works the exact same way. You need to give it respect, so you get the clearest and most accurate answer possible from the I Ching. Because the I Ching is an ancient, profound, and highly divine oracle, there are 3 golden rules we must follow before you ask your question. First, you must be completely sincere. Please don't do this just for fun or to test the system. If you do that, it won't give you a meaningful answer. Secondly, only ask if you are truly in doubt. If your mind is already made up, you don't need to ask. And thirdly, it must be ethical. The I Ching will not guide anyone on something with bad intentions. Now we need to frame your question correctly. The I Ching is divinely wise, but it is not human. It cannot chat with you like a friend over coffee. Because the I Ching answers in metaphors, your question must be highly specific and usually leans towards a yes or no, so the answer makes sense. Don't ask it vague things like, what do you think I should do? Or what will happen to my life? Focus on a clear outcome. Instead of asking, what should I do about my marriage? Ask, is it advisable for me to move on from this relationship? Or, should I sign this specific contract with company X today? So if you are choosing between 2 things, say option A and option B, then we need to do 2 separate divinations to get the clearest answer. For example, will going to school A be good for my son? And then do a second divination for school B. Clear questions will give you clear answers. Now take a moment to formulate your question and write it down so it is perfectly clear. So, how do we consult the I Ching? If you look it up online, you will actually find that there are many different types of I Ching divination methods and different tools used to consult it. You see, there isn't just one specific way to consult the I Ching. It's like comparing Japanese and American cars. They are all built differently, but they are all cars that will get you to your destination. But here's the catch. All these different methods require some level of understanding of the I Ching to actually perform the calculation and translate the answer. I'm not going to bore you with the complex specifics of all these methods today, because the objective of this video is to help you do a divination in the simplest, most effective way possible. Well, to do this, it all boils down to 3 important ingredients from you and 1 tool to process all of them. First, the question that you want to ask, which we've already discussed how to do it. Secondly, a random sign or number that naturally comes to you at that exact moment. And third, your absolute sincerity. And the 2? That's the calculation part. Calculating an I Ching answer is a fixed framework and formula. Well, unless you want to become a professional metaphysics practitioner like me, there is no need for you to know the technical aspects of it. It's like trying to calculate massive numbers manually on a piece of paper. Sure, you definitely can do that, but a much simpler way is to just crunch the numbers into a calculator and get the exact answer. So I've done the heavy lifting and built that calculator on my website. I've left a link in the description. You can use it completely for free anytime after watching this video, once you understand exactly how to consult the I Ching. Now, to get your answer, the I Ching requires 3 numbers from you. There are 2 different ways they can come to you. Sometimes at one specific moment, you have a very strong feeling about a burning question. For example, you were thinking about whether to start a new business and an interesting truck suddenly drives by. You feel in your gut that it's a sign and you immediately notice the numbers popping in front of you. Maybe it's the car plate, the block number of the building, the street it stops by, or the numbers might simply appear in your mind. If a spontaneous feeling like that just happened to you while you are thinking about your question, that is the universe speaking to you right in the moment. We call that synchronicity, and you can just use those numbers. However, if you don't have that sort of feeling, you are intentionally sitting down to ask a question right now, here's what we do. I want you to get into a quiet, peaceful state. If you just had an argument with your spouse or totally drained after a long day at work, do not rush this. Pause right now, clear your mind and bring yourself back to a peaceful state before we begin. And definitely don't do it while driving. Be fresh and peaceful. Close your eyes, say a simple prayer in your heart. Just something like, Dear I Ching, or if you have a religion, say the God's name. Then, my name, have a huge dilemma about the question that you're asking, and I sincerely seek your wisdom and guidance. Remember, you don't need exact words. Sincerity is the key here, not the words. Now, with the exact question clearly in mind, let 3 numbers naturally come to you. They can be of any numbers, any length. Alternatively, you can just grab a book, flip it open 3 times and use those page numbers. So as you can see, it's not like you just ask me some questions and I go into some spiritual trance, get connected with the heavens and magically give you an answer. The answer actually comes from you. These 3 numbers are your deep answers. My job here is to be the translator for the I Ching. You provide the most important ingredient, the numbers and the sincerity. That's why another person who asks the same exact question will get a different set of numbers, and the I Ching will give a completely different answer. So once you have your numbers, type them into my calculator along with your question. My system will calculate the hexagram and we will see what guidance the I Ching has for you today. Now, earlier, I mentioned that the I Ching is the great-great-grandfather of all Chinese wisdom. But if you're wondering who created it and why is it so highly regarded, then watch this video where I go deep dive into I Ching and why it's the king of all Chinese classics.